Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I like to poke fun at religion, right? Like I do. I have a lot of fun poking fun at religion, but just for the sake of utter fairness and just full disclosure and transparency, I generally have no issue if somebody is religious. I believe that while I am not spiritual, if you are spiritual, by all means, let that flag fly, and you follow whatever God or whatever you want. That's entirely your purview as a person, your freedom, your right, and I'm not going to make fun of you for it. Now, the actual institutions themselves, their policies, their practices, and tithing, absolutely going to go after. But your beliefs, which is why Scientology is coming up this time around, and it's one that's interesting. This particular story is interesting because at first, the articles going on about this thing were trying to showcase it as being a Scientologist thing, right? That Scientologists, like the church itself, was behind this, and it was something that is bad, right? It's pretty bad, but ultimately it's not the case. It's not that Scientology was behind it; it's that Scientologists were behind it. And check this out. So Tennessee Scientologists charged in kidnapping case. So Nashville, Tennessee, a Scientologist who opened his own treatment facility not affiliated with the church has been indicted for facilitation to kidnapping after two people were allegedly held against their will at the Woodbury facility. So yeah, it's again, the articles from this were trying to say that it was the church itself that owned this particular establishment, and that is not the case. Deputies with the Cannon County Sheriff's Office say on February 7th, they responded to a call at the Sunshine Lane facility, primarily made up of cabins and a double-wide trailer. Deputies say a male victim was found locked inside a cabin with no sufficient food or water. The man told deputies that he requested to leave the cabin, but was kept from doing so by his caretaker. He also made claims he was subject to assault. And not only like the assault here, but he also has said in other articles touched on this one didn't, that he was subjected to unknown medication and treatment, and he'd been there for like 9 months, right, at this point in time. And he actually is the one who called 911. He somehow got out of his room, got out of his cage, if you will, found a phone, called 911, and when the police showed up, they were able to talk to him. Then, of course, he left there with them because the police found out that no one at this facility had a license to operate medicine or practice medicine. And so they took him to the hospital, and then the police got a warrant to go back and do a sweep of everything. That's when they found a female victim who made the same claims. Deputies say they found a mentally handicapped woman who had also been imprisoned in a padlock room for up to 14 hours a day with no living standards. These people were caged in a room that had only one sheet on the bed. And this is in February in Tennessee. It may not be as cold as up north, but that ain't, you still need more than a sheet. And the only light source in their room actually happened to just be the bathroom that had a single light source. Other than that, these people were basically just held captive there. Now, according to arrest records, 3 men were charged in the case. Dennis Flamand and Hans Lytle are the 2 men who say deputies are saying exercise control as caretakers over the victims. Flamand over the male and Lytle over the female. Both men were arrested and ultimately pled guilty to 2 counts of false imprisonment, as they very much should. However, the chargers didn't stop with them. Mark Valeres, I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, I know I did say that wrong. The manager of the facility was also charged with 2 felony counts of facilitation to kidnapping. He is the manager of the Life Center for New Tomorrow, LLC. On the facility's website, the Life Center claimed to have offered an alternative to psychiatric treatment. Now, if you know anything about Scientology, you know they really, really, really hate psychiatric treatment, right? There's a story of a woman whose name I forget right now. This happened in the 70s in Los Angeles. She hit her head in a car accident, left her car, stripped off her clothes, was found wandering naked, taken to a hospital. Scientologists showed up before she could get any kind of treatment. They whisked her away to some off-site location where they basically chained her to a bed for a couple weeks, barely fed her, barely gave her any water. She was suffering from severe dehydration. She was starving, and her body was said to have found with like bed sores as well as like bug bites, like cockroach bites, because she had been there for so long. And then when they took her to the hospital, she died. And that is just that. So they are very much against psychiatric treatment. And so this Life Center for a New Tomorrow that was housing these two people almost feels in line with that particular treatment. They wanted to make sure that these people weren't getting psychiatric treatment the way that, everyone else gets it, but they were wanting to do it in a way that would be damaging, that would be damaging to the person because, hey, got to get rid of those pesky thetans. Am I right? Now the website claims that the two who attended the facility would be prepared food and trust the staff working with them on a daily basis. Once a person signs up for the program, they are charged $2,500 for the first 4 weeks, and then that price is reduced to $2,000 per week. Now think of it like this. $2,500 for the first 4 weeks, for the first month, and then $2,000 per week after that. So $8,000 a month. The man who was found had been there for 9 months. How much money were they charging his family? Right? That is insane. That's insane. That's so much money. We don't even know anything else about the other woman. Now, none of the men charged were found to be licensed healthcare professionals. The Life Center operated under the management of Valieres, who is a Scientologist and is believed to have used his training learned through the church to open up his own treatment facility. And this is one of the reasons why Scientology is so fucking dangerous. It is so dangerous of a religion. It's a cult. It's outright a cult because people like this, they think that they're being trained. They think that they're being treated. Anything else is just ridiculous stuff here. Fox 17 spoke with Church of Scientologist, Nashville pastor, Reverend Brian Fessler. Now, Reverend Fessler says that the Life Center is in no way a part of the Church of Scientology, and he had no way of knowing what was going on down there. You can't open a Scientology facility unless it's approved by the church. He goes on to say it has nothing to do with our church. It is nothing we would be involved in any way, which is basically a load of crap. Scientology has a number of facilities around the country, around the world. I believe they're in just about every country on the planet in one shape or form or another. And while they may not operate this kind of facility, they operate facilities that are very similar to this. And it gets creepy when you start looking into Scientology as a whole. Now, the facilities themselves have been closed. The judge ruled that all facilities tied with the Life Center in Woodbury be closed permanently. Now, the sheriff said that the Canyon County Sheriff's Department would like to make the general public of this county aware that the Scientology facilities are closed and not operating in Canyon County. And as a result of that, that was where part of the problems with the news story started coming from, started acting like this is a Scientology run facility versus a clinic opened up by a radicalized member of Scientology who felt that he could offer this kind of treatment to people who are probably desperately looking for it. Now, the man that they found, they were able to call his mother, and his mother lives in Beverly Hills, which is probably the reason why this guy finds himself in the woods of Tennessee, locked in a cabin behind a double wide, being treated like a prisoner of war for the Viet Cong, is probably because the people running this facility talked to his mother, or the mother found the facility online and then is paying for her son to be there. So really, 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 really hope that woman gets all the recognition for being the mother of the year, because that's, you send your kid away to get unlicensed, undocumented alternatives to psychiatric treatment, and you find out 9 months later he's been living in a cabin in the woods with only a sheet to cover himself up with at night, in the winter no less, and only one source of light in the bathroom. Oh, mother of the year right there, folks. Mother of the year. But at the end of the day, the people are safe. The people are definitely, they're out of there. They're out of the woods, if you will. Pardon the pun. They are away from this, and I hope it opens their eyes to the dangers of Scientology and the dangers of this form of alternative medicine. I'm not against alternative medicine, but when you're practicing these kind of, or preaching these kind of alternative treatments, and no one does their due diligence and research, and then you send a family member away for the better part of a year to be locked up like a dog, there's a big problem there. And I hope this kind of stuff has a lot more light shined on it in the future so it won't impact anyone else again. But let's be fair here. As long as people out there believe in this kind of nonsense and it goes absolutely unquestioned, more and more people are going to become victims of it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think that this was just a one-shot offshoot of Scientology, or do you think in the future they might actually find more things that are like this? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.